Hey guys, this is Cody, your Tomes Keeper, and I just kind of wanted to give you guys a heads up that this first episode is the first time that we sat down to record and edit and just do the whole podcast thing. And after going back and re-listening, we noticed that the quality isn't quite up to our standards. I did everything that I could to make it as great as I possibly could for you guys. But I wanted to let you know that this episode is in no way indicative of our future episodes that we have already recorded. This one was kind of a test run and a trial to get the levels right, tweak everything, and also get our editing feet on the ground and running. So I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope you stick it out, and especially wait and stick around and listen to episode 3, because from 3 on we definitely got everything dialed in. So I hope you enjoy, and take care. I wanted to welcome everybody to Theater of the Mind Entertainment, where we will claw at the darkest corners of your minds and unlock your deepest fears. Our story begins following 4 unsuspecting people: Ted Solomon, a dark wave radio host by night and journalist by day; John Murdoch, a former insurance company claims adjuster, now private investigator; Ben Wesker, a private investigator; and Dr. Oliver McDowell, a journalist and photographer. Our story takes place in the year 1936 in New York. During the month of September, you've heard buzz and read many articles of Mauritania's last voyage. On September 23rd, you flip open the newspaper and you read an article headlined "Mauritania's Last Voyage." As the ship prepares for its last voyage, I was able to catch up with Mr. Leonard Pescott and ask him about the Mauritania and the significance of the final voyage. As we all know, the last voyage was not open to public and was invitation only. Many of the wealthiest people in New York were blessed to share this historic moment as the ship travels from New York to London before reaching its final resting place in the Boston Harbor. The private voyage was funded by an individual who wanted this historic event to be as positive and profound as it could possibly be. This individual felt that an invitation-only voyage was the way to make that happen, and we here at the Cunard Lines were happy to oblige. The voyage is scheduled to depart on September 25th and arrive in the Boston Harbor October 17th. Don't miss out on sending off the Mauritania as it sets sail one last and final time. That was written by Richard Kramer of the New York Sun Publishing. Our story opens up on Tuesday at midnight, October 6th. Word has just sprung into Theodore's ears that the Mauritania was found in the middle of the ocean abandoned, and he caught wind of the news early and decided to broadcast it.
And one little last piece of news for you dark listeners out there. I got a special scoop from the inside. You know that Mauritania ship that rode out on the harbor a couple months back? Word is that it's back, but no one else is. Stay tuned next time on the Dark Wavecast. Hello?
Hello, Ted.
Who's this?
My name is Oliver. I have a question about that last piece of information that you broadcast in your show this evening. About the Mauritania?
Yeah, I mean, we're done broadcasting, buddy, but, I mean, what do you want to know?
I'm aware of that, but I was listening to your show this evening, and when did it come back? Where did you get that information from? Because I was there when it set sail.
You were there when it set sail, really?
I was doing a story for the Wall Street Journal, and I was there to take pictures.
Oh, the Wall Street Journal, really?
Yes.
You said your name was Oliver, right?
Dr. Oliver McDowell is my name, actually.
Oh, Oliver McDowell, yeah. Yeah, no, I remember you. Didn't I bring you a piece for the Journal a couple months back? You rejected it because it was A little out there? Isn't that what you said?
I don't believe so. I've been working as a freelance photographer and journalist for the past few months. I just graduated from NYU. You might have the wrong Oliver.
I don't know. I mean, we get a lot of people to call in here, man. So what can I do for you again? The Mauritania?
I just want to know where you got that information, and I may have some more to add to the story, actually. If there's some way that we could meet, I have some pictures that I can't explain.
Well, I mean, we did just get done with the cast, and that'd be perfect for tomorrow if I can get some more info, because, to be honest, I mean, my source, which I can't tell you that, obviously, told me some things about this ship, but kind of going to run dry after tomorrow, and I'd like to have a little bit of info to finish out this week. Maybe we could meet up. How about, say, tomorrow, noon, coffee, Fifth Street Diner?
That sounds good to me. Some of the things that I want to show you, maybe we could go somewhere a little more private.
We'll work that out when we get there.
Sounds good.
So at this point, it's 1 a.m. Ted, what are you doing?
Yeah, at this point, I finished up the cast. I maybe sit up and pour through some of my sources and letters that came in, but after that, I head to bed.
Oliver, are you doing anything at 1 a.m.?
No, nothing substantial. I'll probably just look over the pictures one more time and go to bed.
The next morning rolls around 8 a.m. Benjamin, what's the morning look like for you?
Probably just be waking up and make a little bit of breakfast. I usually have a coffee, maybe skim through the paper.
All right, Benjamin, you're just getting ready for work. And John, how about you, buddy? What are you doing at 8 a.m.?
Probably about the same. Just getting up, getting ready to another day of private investigating.
As the morning continues, Ben, you make your way down to your PI firm, and as you walk into your office, you're met by Susan, your secretary, gorgeous, leggy, 24-year-old. Ben, Bernard called. You know, the police chief? He left you a message. He really wanted you to call him back. I promised him I'd get this to you as soon as I saw you.
Oh, okay. I'll take the number and I'll go in and give him a call right now.
You see her get up from the desk in this tight little pencil skirt, and she's shuffling some papers around and looks a little bit disheveled. She eventually finds this small slip of paper all crimpled up with his number on it and hands it to you.
Thank you, Susan.
Oh, you're welcome, Benji.
I'd walk into my office and I gotta sit down and call.
Hello, this is Bernard.
Bernard, this is Benjamin Wesker. I believe you called me.
Yeah, hey Ben, thanks for giving me a call back. I've been up to my ears in shit since this news report hit.
Oh, I'm sorry, what news report?
Oh wow, you didn't hear the news?
No, sir.
Well, apparently the Mauritania was found out in the middle of the ocean, and no one was there. No one was on it. It's real weird, but I have reporters banging down the doors, and I have one hell of a headache.
Well, that's pretty interesting. Well, how can I help you?
I tell you what, why don't you come down here at about 2 o'clock and we can meet?
Alright, yeah, I'll be down. I'll be down by 2 o'clock.
I'll see you then, buddy.
Alright, thanks, sir.
Take care.
Meanwhile, John, you make your way down to your PI office, and as you walk through the door, you see Dorothy, your 70-year-old secretary. Good morning, John. How are you, sweetie?
Good morning, beautiful. Nice to see you. Bright and early as usual.
Oh, it's always wonderful to see you, honey.
Well, I'm just gonna go in my office then and do stuff. Private investigator stuff.
I'm sure.
My bottle of booze is in there, right?
Right where you left it, honey.
That's what I like to hear.
Oh, yeah.
So aren't you glad you left Stafford Insurance with me?
Oh, I'm so happy. You remind me every single day.
Ah, see? Hey, it's just a slow spell right now. Things will pick up here again.
I sure do hope so, honey. I'm not getting any younger, and my bills aren't getting any smaller.
Well, hey, if I was 50 years older, you know.
Oh, sweetie, you're such a sweetheart. Well, get to it, honey. I'll be here if you need me. You walk into your office and you kind of get acquainted with the morning and begin shuffling some papers around.
Hello. Murdoch, investigating.
Hey, Jonathan.
Who is this?
This is Bernie, the police chief.
Oh, hey, Bern, what's up?
So much I can't even describe. After this news report about the Mauritania hit the papers this morning, I'm assuming you read it.
Well, I walked past them in the morning. I didn't really actually look.
You didn't look at the newspaper. You have a lot to get caught up on, buddy. A lot to get caught up on.
Well, with the way things have been going nowadays, a good shot of whiskey comes before the newspaper.
I don't blame you there. I could use a shot or 2 or 3. Would you be able to come down to the office around 2 o'clock? I have a lot to go over with you.
Yeah, that won't be a problem.
All right, then. Yeah, just stop in and I'll fill you in. I might have some work. See you then.
Yeah, I'll be down.
Sounds great. We'll talk.
All right, see you then.
Take care.
Meanwhile, Oliver, what's your morning routine look like?
I probably sleep in because I was up late last night listening to Ted's show and maybe drinking a little whiskey. So yeah, I wake up, I get dressed, slick my hair back, and I prepare to go to the diner.
You walk out of your apartment onto the busy streets of New York and begin heading towards the 5th Street Diner. Ted, what's your morning look like?
So I'm pretty used to being up most of the night at this point. I've been doing it for quite a many years now. I mean, I'm about 38, probably been doing this about 15 years at this point. I go ahead and wake up pretty early for most people, especially if you stayed up till like 1 a.m. Wake up about 8. Go ahead and start pouring through my work again, tinker around with some of my radios, make sure all my equipment's in working order and playing with some new stuff. And grab a shower and get dressed. I want to be there a little early. I like to kind of get there before any of my sources and just case the joint out. Now, I have been to this coffee shop quite a few times. It's usually the place I choose to meet most people. And I go ahead and get ready, make my way down there.
Ted, you make your way down the old rickety stairs of your rundown apartment onto the very busy streets of New York City. And it's a beautiful day, the sun's shining, and you head down to the old 5th Street Diner. You're very familiar with the 5th Street Diner being a very small, sort of rundown, secluded area of New York that you feel most comfortable in. And as you walk through the door of the diner, there's only a few people there, but you see a very familiar face behind the register. Hey, Ted. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, Dave. How's it going?
Oh, it's fantastic. Any better, it'd be illegal.
I hear you there. Beautiful day outside, though.
Oh, it's absolutely gorgeous. What can I get you?
Just put me on a pot of coffee. I got a visitor.
Hey, coming right up, Ted. Anything for you, buddy? And you see Dave. He turns around and begins cleaning off some glasses and washing the wares, and he puts on a fresh pot of coffee for you.
I make my way over to kind of a corner booth at the far end of the room. Booth I tend to always sit in, so I just kind of naturally go over there. It's empty, like it usually is, because they're used to me coming in. And I sit down, grab a paper on my way through, flip it open, and just kind of chill.
When you flip the paper open, you see the headline that you were expecting to see all along: the disappearance and mystery of the Mauritania. And you begin reading down through, and you notice that no one seems to really know what happened. They talk a lot about just finding the ship in the middle of the ocean, and it was completely abandoned. And they make mention of 3 suspects that were found in a lifeboat just out in the middle of the ocean, just covered in blood, and they're in questioning right now. You're not really sure what to make of it. And about that time, you notice Dave comes around the corner and brings your coffee and pours you a cup.
Hey, thanks, Dave. Hey, you read the paper yet this morning?
I did. It's weird. I don't know what to make of it.
Yeah, strange, isn't it? You listen to my show, don't you, Dave?
I'm not gonna lie, Ted, I have a tendency to.
I mean, this all doesn't seem like a coincidence, does it?
It doesn't seem like a coincidence, but I don't really know. I don't think anyone knows what's going on. It's definitely weird. That's all I can really tell you.
Something's mighty strange about this situation to me. Mighty strange.
Hey, you're not lying, Ted. It's definitely up your alley, though.
I mean, you really think... Yeah, I mean, you read this article, right? 3 people found? You think they really murdered a ship full of 100 people?
I mean, Ted, let's not jump to conspiracies here, right? I mean, they didn't say murder. Yeah, the 3 people were found and blood on them, but hey, optimism.
I take a big gulp of my coffee. I'm just telling you, Dave. You gotta keep your mind open. You never know these days.
I guess you're right, Ted. He pulls out some smokes and offers you one.
I don't smoke, man. I think we go through this every time.
You're probably right, Ted. But with you, I never really know, so I always offer.
It should be good. I do have a visitor stopping in, so you could just keep us some space here. It says he's a journalist or a photographer or something for the Wall Street Journal. So we'll see what that brings. Maybe a nicer apartment if I'm lucky.
We can always hope, Ted. We can always hope. I'll send him back your way when he comes in. About an hour goes by, and you hear the diner door open, and you see Oliver.
At exactly 12. On the dot. So Oliver walks in. He's very well kept, well dressed, hair slicked back. Face, not so much. He looks kind of disheveled. His eyes are a little deer in the headlights. He doesn't see Ted right away when he walks in. He kind of just looks around, doesn't see him, walks up to the bar, doesn't talk to anybody. Then he looks over and he sees him, and he just makes a beeline for the table, sits down, and looks at Ted. I'm sorry I called you so late last night, but I didn't realize that the Mauritania had come back. How did you know that?
I take another big gulp, finishing off my coffee. It's real early, buddy. It's real early. Why don't you just simmer down a moment? Oliver, right?
Oliver, yes. Ted, we spoke on the phone last night. I'm sorry. How rude of me. I apologize.
Hey, Dave, get this guy a cup of coffee.
Hey, coming right up, Ted.
Thanks.
Dave comes around the corner and pours Oliver a nice cup of coffee. Is there anything else I can get you to?
Oh, yeah, we should be good. Just keep the coffee warm and the pot's coming.
Dave smiles and walks away.
Oliver follows Dave as he walks away, just super paranoid eyes.
I'm kind of still looking at the paper, but unobviously inspecting Oliver and his demeanor at this moment to try to get a feel for if this guy is just a crazy tweaker who called me, because I don't know, if he's actually from the Wall Street Journal or not. So I'm trying to just feel him out there, and I kind of sit there and stare at the paper and drink my coffee in those few moments. So Oliver, Wall Street Journal?
Yes. I've been writing and taking photographs as a freelance worker for the past few months since I graduated with my PhD in journalism from NYU.
Wait, how old are you?
I'm 28 years old.
Oh, damn. I wish I would have achieved that much in my life. Yeah, well, good on you, kid. Keep it up.
When you have wealthy parents, who can pay your way.
I guess there's an answer to every question out there.
Yeah, I would say so, and I hope you can give me an answer to mine. I had these photographs that I took for the Wall Street Journal. They didn't let me write the article about when the Mauritania set sail, but I was there and I took pictures. But whenever I took them to get developed, They did not turn out the way I was expecting. They are very odd.
While he's saying that, I set down my paper and I just kind of motion for him to hand me the photos.
I don't know if I want to show you out here. These pictures got me fired.
Fired? Why would they get you fired?
Whenever I showed them the pictures, I tried to explain to them that this is how the pictures turned out. I have been taking photographs since I was a child, and I've never had anything like this happen to me, but they took it as some kind of a prank and bid me adieu. But I know that these photographs are legitimate, and they're not a prank, and I want to find out why they look the way that they do. Is there any way we could go somewhere else? Maybe back to your studio?
I mean, I'll tell you what, Oliver. I mean, I come here pretty often. If you can't tell, Dave's a good guy. He knows me. I think if we're safe anywhere, it's right here. I mean, not to put you off here, but no one really comes to my studio. This is no offense to you, but I just don't like people knowing where I live, honestly. As you can imagine, my radio show doesn't always attract the most stable of callers.
He thinks about it for a second and reluctantly pulls the envelope out of his jacket pocket. He hands you 10 photographs.
So I go ahead and I take the photos from Oliver and start giving him a good look.
Yeah, you begin looking over the photos, and they do appear really, really strange. You notice the sun appears to be black, and there's absolutely nobody on the deck of the ship. And what's strange about it is there's a ton of people lining the dock, getting ready to send off the Mauritania, and they all appear to be waving at nothing, almost as if they're all ghosts on the ship. And you notice some people walking up the archway to get onto the ship, and then they just kind of disappear. Go ahead and give me a spot hidden.
That is a 87 out of 55, so fell.
Okay, yeah, you don't really notice anything else other than every photo just appears to be more of the same, just extremely strange. And once again, you note that the sun is just blackened out by something.
So as I'm looking at these photos, I obviously take note of that. I mean, Oliver, man. Maybe I'm just not seeing it here. I mean, are you sure? It just looks like you didn't have a smudge on your camera or something. And maybe they just fired you because you're a shitty photographer.
You know, one of them actually did say that.
I kind of laugh at that. I mean, what do you see in these photos?
Well, first of all, I swear to you there was no smudge on my camera. I know how to take a photograph. I know how to develop a photograph. And there were people on this ship who are now missing. They just did not turn up in the photographs. Look at this one. It's a photograph of the ship and the captain's quarters up on top. Look in the window there. Doesn't that look like the face of a little girl?
Ted, when you look at the picture, you see what appears to be a girl staring straight into the camera.
So I see that, and I kind of quickly peer back through most of the photos on the table, looking for where there was people. Do I notice any children in any of those photos?
Not at all.
Yeah, that's I mean, one child on this ship? That's weird. That's odd. I'll give you that. You got my attention.
I swear she was not there when I took that photo. She was not there, and that deck was lined with people, all waving to their family and friends as that ship took off. I took these pictures in broad daylight with all of these people around. There was no darkness over the sun. These photographs, I don't know how they turned out like this.
I look back at the paper real quick, the article. Did it make any mention of when the original voyage went out and like what time it might have left, or?
Yeah, it went out on September 25th and it left at 1 o'clock p.m. Gorgeous, sunny day.
I mean, I don't have any reason to disbelieve you, honestly. And I mean, this ship did leave at like 1 p.m. in the afternoon, so not broad daylight to me. I don't think the Egyptian sun goddess came back or anything. So, I mean, what do you want here, Oliver? You want to be on the show? Is that what we're going for?
I'm not trying to be on the show. I just want to clear my name and prove that these photos are real and not a prank, and maybe get my job back.
Well, what do you suggest? I mean, how can I help you?
I want to know everything that you know about this, and if you can get more information, and if maybe together we can figure out what's going on with this ship.
Meanwhile, Ben and John, you begin making your way down to the police station, and Ben, you arrive at about 1:45, and you walk through the door and see an older lady standing behind the desk. She appears to be working on some mindless paperwork, and she looks up at you. How can I help you today?
Yeah, I'm here to see, Bernard.
Of course. Your name, please.
My name is Benjamin Wesker.
Benjamin, let me look here. She pushes up her glasses and grabs a clipboard and begins looking down through the schedule. It doesn't look like you have an appointment with Bernard at 2 o'clock. Are you sure you're at 2 o'clock?
Yeah, he called me yesterday. We talked on the phone, and he said to come down at 2 o'clock.
Oh, okay. Yeah, give me one moment. At that time, John, you walk in. Oh, hi, John. How are you?
Hi, Elaine. Bernard in?
Yeah, do you have an appointment with him?
Yes. 2 o'clock. Supposed to meet him up in his office.
Oh, okay. Yeah, give me 1 second.
I'm sure if you give him a ring, he'll let you know what all's going on.
When he says that kind of catches my attention. I kind of like look over to kind of check out who's talking and whatnot.
Elaine turns around and goes over to the phone, and she dials a number. Bernard, yes, you have two gentlemen down here, Jonathan and Ben. They're telling me that they have an appointment with you at 2 o'clock. Is that... okay, so you're expecting them. Okay, yep, I'll go ahead and send them right up. Yeah, guys, he's expecting you. Third door on your right, second floor.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Oh, you're very welcome. You guys walk up to the second floor, and you get to the third door on your right, and you notice that there's a large plaque that says Bernard McDonnell, Police Chief.
So I take it you're here to see Bernard also?
I am.
I wonder what's up then.
Yes, come in.
Hey, Bernard, how are you?
John, I've had better days. Hey, Ben, please come sit down. Let me get you guys a glass to drink. He turns around and you see him get into a cabinet and he pours pretty tall glasses of scotch. Bernard's a very jovial individual. He's in his mid to late 60s. Nice walrus mustache, comb over, he's balding. He pours the glasses of scotch and slides them over to you and takes a nice long stiff drink.
You look terrible today. What's going on?
Well, woke up this morning and I've had reporters breathing down my neck ever since. I can't kick this migraine, and I'm assuming you've all read the front page of the paper about the Mauritania and all the people that went missing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, there's a lot of people that want answers that unfortunately I can't give them. And I know that Leonard Peskett, I know he's behind it. Some way he's behind it.
Leonard Prescott?
Yeah, Leonard Peskett.
He was the financier of that whole ship endeavor and everything, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. Bernard takes a drink of his scotch, sets it on the table. I'll tell you what, guys. I want to cut to the chase. This meeting never took place. and I know I'm asking a lot of you, but something just doesn't smell right. I've been doing this for a long time, and I know for a fact that Leonard Prescott's been involved in some underhanded dealings. And I've been keeping my eye on him for a long time, and this just doesn't seem right. And unfortunately, he has his hands deep in the heart of New York City. I can't trust hardly anybody, even my own damn department. I need you guys to look into this for me and let me know what you find. I just need answers. These people deserve answers.
I don't see that being a problem.
Let me get this straight. You're asking us to investigate probably one of the richest men in the city?
Yes, I am.
I mean, if you don't feel like you're up to it.
Listen, guys. I know this is a tall task, but that Leonard Prescott, we're gonna take him down. We're gonna find something, and we're gonna nail that son of a bitch and get him for every damn thing he's worth.
You're too intense in the morning, old man. I wasn't really ready for this shit.
And that concludes our show for this evening. Please, have safe travels back home. And never mind the hairs standing on the back of your neck. It's just your imagination, I'm sure. Thank you for listening to Theater of the Mind Entertainment. Until next time, ta-ta.